Hey bro, can you hear me?
Sure, I can hear you, brother. I can hear you.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. How you doing, my brother? How you doing? How you doing? How's Pakistan, man?
I'm good, man. Pakistan's good. Pakistan's good. Have
Let's
you
get
been
straight
here?
into it. So I wanted to talk about what was your main concern out of this one-on-one session, brother?
Sorry, I didn't get you. What you saying?
Like, where are you trying to get out of this one-on-one session? Where are you struggling with that we could potentially
Okay.
move on?
Yeah. So, I'm struggling. I'll just give you a bit of a brief intro about me so that you'll be able to better understand
Yep,
the
yep.
situation.
Go ahead. I can't hear you no more, brother. Are you there? Think you bugged.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, now I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I was saying I'll just share a quick brief intro about me so that you'll be able to better, guide me
Yep,
or,
yep, I got
know. Okay. Yeah, okay. So, my name is Shanzarr and I'm from Pakistan. By profession, I'm a doctor, a professionally licensed doctor. I practice as well. And by passion, I'm also as well a content creator both on YouTube and Instagram. Along with that, I am a calisthenics athlete as well and a personal trainer international level. So I do that in my free time as well. And along with that, I started trading in 2020. Then the COVID time, and since then I've been through all the phases that everyone goes through the loss.
I think you bugged a little bit, brother. Can't hear you no. There. Your heat glasses are gonna be fucked. Yo, my boy Shanzarr, are you there, brother? I think your Wi-Fi bugged again. Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Yep,
Can you
now I
hear me
can hear
now?
you, brother. Now I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah. I think my just net is acting up. I'm sorry for that.
Yeah, it's just acting up.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So, till where did you were you able to listen or hear?
I think I just want to just want to know about your trading. You know what I'm saying? I heard about your lifestyle, but trading is what we're here for, right?
Yeah, okay. So trading one. Yeah, I was telling you that the trading I started in 2020, and now I've been through all of the phases that everyone goes through, and I've kind of emotionally matured, I would say, and I've understood that without risk management psychology, there's nothing, no true success in that. So currently, I took a long 6 months break, and I have tried to focus on my psychology.
I mean, you
I
gotta
personally
first
think.
before you focus. My bad for pausing you. But before you focus on psychology, you have the right system.
Yeah, that's also what I'm struggling with as well
Yeah. So
because I
the psychology doesn't matter
yeah,
how good psychology is. If the system is not there, it doesn't matter of how disciplined you are. You're not gonna make it, right? Because the
exactly,
system needs to
exactly,
first work.
exactly,
You say?
exactly. I get you.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I understand that. So the CRT, the one you are following, I've actually tried to learn that as well. Through I think the on YouTube there's this guy Romeo, I think so.
Yeah, Romeo. Huh?
Yeah, Romeo, and then there's turtle soup as well. Maybe some turtle soup room as well. So I've tried to watch his videos as well. Took his course
Only
as well.
stick to the actual, people who has fucking actually know about it. The soup room and all the people, you shouldn't listen to them. Only listen to Romeo, right? You shouldn't even listen to me, right? But I'm just one of his students.
Yeah.
Just go based out of him, right? That's all I do.
Okay. 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 Perfect. So I'm actually struggling with two the things right now. In developing system a proper rule-based approach that I can follow day-to-day basis, and that I can back test as well.
You
Along
don't
with
need to
forward
back
test.
test, man. Just back test a little bit. Don't mean back test. I said first. I just forward test. There's no need to for you to back test. You
Okay.
you spend too much time, right? As you guys know, we're not here.
Mm.
We're not in life for too long. We're gonna eventually have to go to hell or heaven, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
spending
yeah.
too much time on back testing is just gonna do you worse. It's just a tool, right? It's
Oh,
not gonna get you profitable.
oh no, but don't you think that'll increase your confidence while you're taking
No, but
trades in the live market?
execution is what you need to focus on. That's why you need to forward test, right? Because back
Okay.
testing, you can have the
Yeah.
perfect setups, but execution in actual live data, that's what you need to actually focus on. Because execution is the hardest part of learning.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Because
I
I
agree with
have
you.
me personally, I have a 90% win. I have a 90% accuracy rate and bias, right? Like 90% of the time, I'm correct on my bias, but execution, I'm there like 40% correct, right? See, there's a huge difference
Okay.
between each other, right?
Yeah, 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 I understand.
So
Yeah,
that's what
okay.
you need to focus on forward testing instead of back testing. So getting live data, forward test it, and see the flaws and pros. Eventually, journal everything. Right. Once you get a journal over like a month of journaling, you're gonna find okay,
Okay.
this was constantly what happened throughout the month. Right. Okay, I'm facing this problem of psychology. This needs to be fixed up. Right. This is my execution. Okay, so you can. That sometimes when I have the wrong Monroe one, I be you know what I'm saying
Yeah.
I be getting stop loss. Some shit like that. Right.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I understand, I understand. So I actually used to journal as well, but for one strategy I was testing, as I got really good at journaling and following the discipline, but somehow I got on a losing streak. And then you would understand that I just hopped onto a different strategy. Just left
Yeah,
it.
that's the worst thing you can. The reason you're
Yeah,
losing
yeah,
streak,
yeah.
you don't want to pattern trade, right? Every time Romeo talks about CRT, talks about it in a
Yeah.
logical way, right? Never in a pattern way,
Yeah, 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 yeah. I've actually watched a lot of his videos, and but I the main one more issue I have is that, like, for example, if I took the Romeo's course or watch his videos, after that I understand and everything, but it's tough for me to implement it while reading it live on the market.
Uh-huh.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yep, yep, yep. But do you know what concept
Yeah.
do you know what the concept you're supposed to use or no? What are the current concept that you use
Um.
with CRT?
So I'm actually looking at the 5 a.m., the 9 a.m.,
Yeah,
the
those
1, 5,
concepts
and
are
9
those
candle.
concepts are not fixed, by the way. They don't work like that. They work differently, right? They work based on what type of daily profile it is there. Is it near reversal or is it a near continuation, right? Because a near 9 a.m. CRT model could happen at 7 a.m. candle, right? So you need to
Oh,
I'll
okay.
show you examples. Don't worry about that. Or, we got the
Yeah,
chart
yeah,
right over
sure.
here, but it doesn't work like that,
Yeah.
right? People they that's why I told you to only focus on Romeo or the student he actually knows what he's doing, right? Because Soup Room, they don't
Oh,
care.
yeah,
They want
okay.
to get the courseman, right? He has courses, so he just want to, make you fucking buy his course. That's all he cares about, right? Sham,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
Sham
yeah.
is a CRT student as well,
Jam,
right?
yeah,
He's a
yeah,
very good
yeah.
student as
Yeah,
well.
he's
But he doesn't teach you the actual way after how to trade a CRT, right? He just says the 3 a.m. model, the 5
oh.
9 a.m. model, right? But it doesn't talk
Yeah,
about the
exactly,
specific
exactly.
time, right? Because 9 a.m. model could happen around 6 a.m., 7 a.m., or the 5 a.m. model could happen around 6 a.m. time, right? For a near reversal, right?
Oh, okay. Okay, okay.
It
Okay,
all
so
depends on the daily profile, which we're gonna talk about as well.
okay, 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 perfect. Um, so I would want to see you on the chart, like how you look at the market in the CRT way. Like,
Yep, yep. I did it
is it,
yesterday with the other
yeah.
guy. We'll do it today again. But do you got
Okay,
any
sure.
other concerns before we move, before we move any forward?
Um, any other concern? Okay, so and yeah, okay. One more question I have is I struggle a lot with like you could say when I go in a drawdown. Basically, if I'm trading prop firms,
I made a video
or if
about
I
that
go,
drawdown as well. I purposely got in drawdown and got out of it. You could check that video out as well, and learn from that as well.
yeah, it's low. I just started watching. This was the most recent video.
Uh huh.
I just started watching that. Yeah, yeah. I'll watch that. I'll watch that. Other than that, I don't think I have any more because I'm mainly trying to focus on, focusing on one system and forward testing it and working on it.
Do you have a psychology problem? What's your psychology problem as of right now?
Oh, psychology problem is that let me give you an example. Yeah, the worst is the revenge trading,
Bench
that
trading.
I
Uh
do.
huh.
Yeah, revenge trading is, I'd say,
All
I'm
right,
struggling
we're
with.
gonna fix that up because as a profit trader, we usually you have a huge amount of experience, right? You have to say what as 2020, you have like at least 5 years of experience. So what you
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
focus
exactly.
on, I mean, that's easy for you to fix. That's no worries, right? You know that a
Okay.
profitable trader needs to focus on profit traders even take a trade a week. They check 1 to 3 a week's max,
Yeah.
right? So that will help you avoid taking revenge trades, right? Eventually, once you learn how to trade
Mm,
CRT, you're gonna take one session, right? You're gonna take one triple session. You're gonna take the right setup, right? Without there being any revenge
oh
trading,
yeah,
right? But
exactly.
before we go any further, what's your terminology right now as of trading? What's your concept that you use to take trades out of?
Currently what I'm using.
Uh-huh. No.
Okay,
It's like
so yeah,
what concept do you use currently to predict the market to analyze the market, right? Do you use daily profile, weekly
okay,
profile? What are the concepts that you use to anticipate?
okay. So I was just trying to simplify my system and approach at looking at the markets because I also once tried to look at the market the ICT way, but that was just too much for me. That was just
Yeah.
going, yeah,
That's why Romeo and CRT is there, right? They make it only Pacific concept that have been working for the past like 2 generations, right? But what I'm trying to ask you is,
yeah.
you know, what are the current terminology do you use, right? What do you use? Do you use, what do you use currently, like to analyze the chart? Do you
Okay,
use
so I usually just try to make it simple. Like I go on the 4-hour chart. I try to mark the key levels from where the market previously made support and broke it, and the areas, resistance
Oh yeah, that all
support
needs to get
areas, and
scratched
then
up, man. All right, let's scratch all up, right? Let's get straight to the chart because I think
okay,
you're
yeah,
fully in the wrong side, right? But if you should never
okay,
analyze the 4 hour chart first. You should always start with the daily, weekly, monthly, 3 months, 6 months,
daily,
and
okay,
12 months, right? You go to
okay,
my
sure,
if
sure,
you go
yeah,
to my market forecast, right? I have a place of market forecast where I pre-predict the market. You see my chart, right?
yeah, yeah. I can, I
I
can.
have pre-predict this push to the downside all the way to the upside, right? From a 12-month time frame, right? You can be doing the same thing,
Oh,
right?
okay,
And I've literally have proof. You go
okay,
to my YouTube channel, you go check my first market forecast, and I said from here all the way to over here, right? But that's not the words, right?
okay,
But for you to start off,
yeah, yeah,
for you to actually, you know, know what you're doing, because for a time frame, there's so much happening here, right? If you see my chart, right? You see my chart? I think you bug again.
yeah,
Hello, you there?
yeah.
So you see my 4 hour chart, right? Right, if you hit the 4 hour time frame chart,
Yeah, I can. Yeah,
you
I
see there's
can.
so much
Yeah,
happening here.
exactly.
You don't know what's happening around here. You don't know there's so much key level left and right? So you need to start off the
Yeah,
higher
yeah.
time frame where there's less candles. So the higher time frame has higher power,
Okay,
right? And so that they know we're gonna go on a
okay,
higher time frame basis, right? As of right now, where the market current price point is, market is high likely to go to this price point right over here. Why? Because the 12 month the 6 month CRT low got souped. We're gonna go the 6 month
oh,
CRT high, right? You can see the 4 hour time frame, you don't know if we're gonna supposed to be shorting this 4 hour order block to the downside or whatever, right?
oh, yeah,
So
exactly.
you
Understood.
first need to start with the higher time frame, which is usually the daily, the weekly, or the monthly, or the 6 month, or the 12 month.
Okay,
Right? The only time you use any time from above the weekly is during Saturday or Sunday. Right now it's Saturday, Sunday. Right? So right now we have to go
yeah,
anticipate the higher time frame, like the 12 month time frame, the 6 month time frame. What's gonna happen in a very long term, right? But if I'm like during the
okay,
weekdays, like Monday to Friday, I'm gonna look primarily
yeah,
at daily and weekly, right? But if there's a market going one direction throughout the week, I need to see the higher time,
Yeah.
like the 3 month time frame, the 6 month time frame, the monthly time frame to know where the market is going, right?
Okay.
So
Yeah. Perfect.
first thing that they see, I see in your flaws is you look at the 4 hour time frame alone, right? As they literally, I think
Yeah.
the people you learn from, they teach you the wrong way. They say look at the 4 hour time frame. No, you need to look at the higher time frame first. You need to get the daily bias, right? They just talking about the
Okay.
execution. Execution is as I
Yeah.
said, a whole different thing. Which if you don't have a daily
Okay.
bias, you're not gonna have the right execution, right? Because on the 4 hour time frame,
Exactly.
you could show this 4 hour for VAGAP and get wrecked, right? You could show this for 4 hour order block and get wrecked, right? So
Yeah.
when
You're
you
right.
when you have the higher time frame, you only care about Pacific key levels. You only care about key levels that are bullish, right? You don't care about key levels that are bearish, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna be
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about that as
Exactly.
well. So let's get straight into it,
Okay.
right? So let me show you how I
Yeah.
do
Sure.
my analysis in the higher time frame first, right? We could start
Okay. Okay.
um from Tuesday, right? See right over here,
Yeah.
Tuesday. Get the actual time here. So on Tuesday, all I do first is go to higher time frame, right? In this case, you can see there's a weekly right over here, right?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a
Exactly.
weekly ERL to IRL weekly, you know what I'm saying? There's a weekly
Yes.
CRT to the downside
Yes.
as
Yeah.
well. But the weekly CRT did not get purged yet, right? So we're looking for a short-term drawn
Okay.
liquidity to be the weekly CRT high because if the market is going to the weekly ERL to IRL, market is going to the high first of the weekly CRT and go lower, right? Because there's a range there, right?
Okay.
Since
Yeah. Right.
you can see the
Right.
weekly time frame is bearish, but we're in the lower time frame going to be bullish. You know why? Because there's a short-term and a long-term drawn liquidity, right? And short-term drawn liquidity
Okay.
always leads to the long-term drawn liquidity, right? So the weekly time from a weekly ERL to IRL as well the weekly to the downside, right? So our short-term drawn liquidity would be the
Okay.
weekly CRT high right over here, right? That would be a short-term drawn liquidity.
Oh.
And our long-term would be here. You can see how the
Mm.
market went up higher, but guess what? That's
Yeah.
because there was news happening around, and guess what? This push to the upside was nothing, random. This push to the upside happened went to the longer term drawn liquidity, which was the I'm saying daily range
Oh.
high,
Okay.
right? You can see how
Yeah.
the market is never random, right? So now all we're doing is going to the
Mm.
daily time frame. Once we have a weekly, names to the downside, but now to go look at daily. Okay, so is it daily going to weekly? Is it the I'm saying what is the daily time frame telling us, right? To get
Yeah.
more in depth into the market, right? So
Yeah. Perfect.
on a daily, what we have here is multiple things here now, right? So now daily has way more
Okay.
candles here. We can more anticipate more, right? What do you see as of right now in a daily
Yeah.
time frame?
Okay. So on the daily, I can see like this huge the engulfing candle. It broke structure for on the left side.
Huh?
Previous it broke its
You do
previous
you do
high.
not want to focus on structure because the structure is you only because you're a day trader, right?
Yeah.
You only care about the
Okay.
4 hour. And keep in mind, bro, you don't have to worry about the 4 hour. You don't have to worry about the structure at all. All you gotta worry about, because you could
Okay.
take you could take reversal trades, right? You don't have to worry about structure, but
Yeah.
it does give you a confidence in a trading. But you should not always focus on structure. That's how people fail. Because there could be a break to the downside, or you took a short. I guess you're taking the market still went up higher, right? So it doesn't make sense like that, right?
Okay.
So since you're a day
Yeah.
trader, we're gonna be
Okay.
talking about that as well. So don't worry about that. But
Okay. Sure.
what else do you see here?
Um. So over here, according to the CRT concept, then I can see the low you can say of this the first bearish candle,
Uh huh.
the low of it has been purged. No, the this one, the bearish candle after the bullish engulfing, the top, the biggest candle,
Uh huh.
biggest bullish candle. Yeah, the after that.
All right. All right. Okay.
No, on the right side, the right side.
Uh huh. This one.
Next one, yeah, this one,
Holy,
yeah.
holy. Okay. I don't
So
I don't I don't understand these
yeah,
terms, right? All I know is I gotta look at the chart. Is like it's a little different. Keep on going. Keep on going.
okay. So the low of this is purged, right?
Uh huh. CRT. Uh huh.
Okay, and yeah, so now if we can look to target the upper end of this,
All right. So is this CRT
yeah.
respected or not? So you gotta tell me if it's respected or not.
No, 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 it's not respected because it closed below
Uh
this
huh. How
low.
what says it's not respected?
Because the second candle closed below the
Yeah, but you gotta look
you
at this,
know,
right? What is a total soup, right? You know what a total soup is, right?
I do know, I do know.
A total soup is two things, right? A total soup is basically a thing where it could go. to a turtle bodysuit where the body closes below the candle, and
Okay.
it still get respected, right? Or it can be a total soup where it just wicks it out, goes up higher, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, that's not the main worry. The main worry is that this candle right over here in the lower time frame. So just using the time frame alignment, right? So if you have a daily key level, what time frame do you scale down to?
Uh, for the 4 hour.
Oh, he's going on to the hourly because I have a whole boot
Hourly.
camp out of this. Okay, I have a pre boot camp that I'll share it to you. A free boot camp.
Okay.
We'll talk about every concept that you need to know that ICT and
Okay,
Romeo has
perfect.
talked about. Right, that actually works. So since you have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
daily key level or a daily CRT, right, you're
Okay.
gonna go to the hourly time frame to confirm the CRT here, right?
Oh,
So in
okay,
the
okay,
hourly
perfect.
time frame,
Perfect.
where's the confirmation to the CRT here?
Okay, let me show 1 minute. The candle, that wicked, yeah, this one.
All right,
This
uh-huh.
bearish candle
So,
that
but
wicked
the
down
daily
and
time frame still closed below it. So is it still respected or no?
along as per the one you told me that turtle soup with the body closure as well is get respected, so that I
So no, no,
guess
you
then
have to, don't focus on that concept. Focus on the lower time frame, right? So if you have a daily, CRT, we have to confirm it by the hourly number one, right? So if a daily CRT, the hourly time frame confirms the number one here, right? The number one, the daily and the hourly time frame is confirmed here, right? You can see how it's confirmed here.
okay.
So hourly time is doesn't matter. It
Uh,
doesn't matter if he closes below it, right? Once he closes below it,
oh,
if the model one is still there and it's confirmed, the CRT is still valid, but just a little lower probability, right? But it's a higher time frame, so
low
the low
probability.
probability doesn't even matter. It's
Oh,
still respected regardless, right?
okay.
So you
Yeah,
see
yeah, that's right.
if you play it forward, right, it's respected, right? You can see how we got respected. So you have a
Okay.
clear drawn liquidity to
Yeah,
the CRT high, and you have a clear drawn liquidity to the
yeah.
daily range high right over here, right? So now if you go back
Okay,
chart to
yeah,
this
yeah.
panel right over here, so now over here, what else do you see? Let's have the CRT here. You see daily ranges, you see, you know, the ranges or anything like that.
Uh, Other than that, I'm getting a bit confused.
All right. So let me share my perspective, right? Because I don't think you know
Yeah,
these concepts,
yeah,
right? So, as in
yeah.
what I see, since we have the weekly, right? Weekly have the see that weekly have less candles. So now daily have more
Yeah.
candles, so we can go more in depth into the market, right? So daily time frame on what I
Yeah.
see, we market souped at a low, eventually souped at a high right over here, right? So once we soup at a low and a soup at a high, what does it create? It creates a daily range, right? So this is the start of the daily
Okay.
range. Market made a stable low after pushing the low. After pushing the high,
Yeah.
market made a stable high. So everything here is
Okay.
premium discount. So once the market
This
taps the
one.
discount dealing range, our draw on liquidity become a dealing range high, which is all over here, right? So
Okay.
on what else do I see? I see a classic expansion profile to the upside. Why? Because Monday had SMT with a Tuesday low, right? So you can see there was an SMT divergence here. So since
Yeah.
there's an
Yeah.
SMT,
Yeah.
there was an SMT the daily time, but the lower time was the SMT. So this low is protected, right? So
Okay.
on what I see,
Okay.
there's a classic expansion profile too. So we see Monday being the low of the week. So if it's Monday the low of the week and it's a classic expansion profile too, we're expecting for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday to expand to a drawn liquidity
Yeah.
right to the higher time frame, right? And what else do I see? I
Okay.
see a daily CRT. Although it closed below it, it's still respected because the hourly time frame confirmed the number one here, right? So the CRT is still respected
Yeah.
here, right? So now
Okay,
I have
perfect.
this higher time and drawn looking. So what's my higher time and drawn looking now? Tell me.
High time frame drawn liquidity.
Yeah, what's my drawn looking? Is it bullish or bearish?
It's bullish.
All right, okay. So since it's bullish, now we go to the 4 hour time frame. So now in the 4 hour time frame, we're looking for logical reasoning to the upside and downside. Right? It's looking for logic reasoning, right? You don't want to be
Okay. Yeah.
shorting, longing for no reason, right? So now
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna build up a narrative, a context to the market, right? So where we can have a logical reason to the
Okay.
push to the upside, so we can actually stop gambling and actually trading for real, right?
Yeah.
So now in the
Exactly.
lower time frame,
Exactly.
now this is when we go to the 4 hour time, right? We don't go to the 4 hour time straight away. We only go to the 4 hour time once we get the higher
Okay.
time and draw on liquidity, right? So
Yeah.
now since we're
Right.
in the 4 hour time frame, all we're doing is doing two things here, right? We're marking the
Yeah.
start of the daily candle opening. So let's just say we're trading on a Wednesday, right? We're
Yeah.
gonna mark the daily opening of the Wednesday candle and the close
Okay.
of the daily time frame of the Wednesday candle, right? So that's the opening of the Wednesday candle, the
Okay.
close of the Wednesday
Yeah,
candle, right?
exactly.
Why do we do that? This
Okay.
helps us, focus on specific, time, right? Because time is overpriced, right?
Yeah,
But this helps us, okay,
exactly.
this is where we're looking at. This is where we are at a specific price point, right? So now
Yeah.
once we mark this, we're marking out the sessions here now. So now we're gonna go mark out the session. We're
Okay.
gonna go to the, what session do you trade? Do you trade London session, New York session, or what?
The London and New York.
All
I
right, so
look at both.
London session and New York session, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark
Yeah.
the 2 a.m. and
Okay.
the actually not 2 a.m. I mean 3 a.m. because the 3 a.m. is a kill zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna mark out the 6 a.m. and as well
Okay.
I'm gonna mark out the 10:30 a.m. because 6 to 10:30 is the Pacific time purge, right? And as well as this 3
Yeah.
a.m. is the is the
Yeah.
silver bullet kill zone for ICT, right? So now
Yes,
what we're
exactly.
doing is we're not gonna trade Agency, so we're gonna let Agency play out here.
Okay.
Boom, plays out. I don't think there was a session here. I don't think there was a trade here, but the next session there was a trade here. I think there was a trade on the fucking, what do you call it, on the Agency on London session as well, right? So for me, I had a
Okay.
trade on the London session and as well on the fucking New York session, right? To
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Okay.
So all we're doing is now that 17 o'clock 4 hour candle ended and the 21 o'clock 4 hour candle ended. Now we're waiting till 3 a.m. So you know how the market for the 4 hour candle of the I 1 a.m. CRT has has like 3 hours to play out, right? So now you gather more data to 3 a.m., right? So now we go to the lower
Yes.
time frame. Now we're gonna mark out the CRT high, CRT low, and CRT high here, right?
Yes.
So now
Exactly.
what else we're gonna do is gonna mark out this for now we're gonna this is when we're gonna look for a fucking context narrative, right? So now we're gonna look for a key level here, right? So we're gonna mark our key level.
Okay.
Okay, so what else do we see here? Is the order flow bearish, bullish? What is it?
The order flow is bullish.
Yeah, the order flow is bullish, right? So you have a bullish order flow. You have a 4 hour key
Yeah.
level. You're looking to execute on as far as CRT. You have a
Exactly.
what else you have? You have like other some other key level. It doesn't really matter, right? All that matters, you have a key level. You have a narrative, right? In this
Exactly.
case, the narrative is
Okay.
already here. What's the narrative to you?
So the narrative is like the higher time from drawn liquidity
Yep. The higher
is
time
up.
frame,
Up.
like lower
Yeah.
time frame, usually you want to look for a narrative in a lower time frame, but guess what? The higher time frame is giving us so much narrative that the higher time frame literally confirmed everything here, right? And in daily time frame, go daily time
Yeah.
frame right over here, right? The daily right over here, you can see we had a daily IRL to ERL play as well, right? So now go to the 4 hour time
Exactly.
frame once again. We're gonna wait
Okay.
till this 3 a.m., right? So you say we see how we marked out the 3 a.m. candle right over here, 3 a.m. We're gonna first
Yes.
let the
Yes.
first two candles play out here. First candle,
Okay.
second candle. So at 3 a.m. is when we're looking to take a trade here, right? So this is when 3 a.m. comes around.
Okay.
So our CRT high got pressed. So we're bullish here, right? So we don't want to be taking a trade, you know, we're not gonna be taking a trade unless they purge out CRT low, right? So see, in this case, this is a double
Yeah.
purge as well. This is a double purge in
Double
CRT,
purge.
right? So market first
Yeah.
purge out CRT high and CRT low. So the only way since we're bullish, the only way we can execute is once the CRT low gets souped and tapped the key level. So the key level got tapped and the CRT low got tapped, right? So
Okay.
now we're waiting
Yeah.
until
Exactly.
we're still here with the next candle gonna be 3 a.m. counter, right? So we're gonna let the 3 a.m. counter play
Yes.
here. Now let's go to the lower time, 15-minute time from here, right?
Okay.
So if I play the next bar here, it's going 3 a.m. counter. You see, 3 a.m. counter straight away went downside because it's a kill zone, right? It's a New York silver
Yeah.
bullet. I mean, it's a London silver bullet kill zone, right? So you can see next session,
London.
this
Yeah.
candle started fucking acting up here, right? It's you see
Yeah.
how this candle's pushed straight to the drone where it's supposed to go,
Oh.
right?
Okay.
So now all we're doing is
Yes.
letting the next candle play. Okay, so now you can see the low got souped here, right? The low got souped. Now
Okay.
this is when we're
Okay.
looking to take a
Yes.
trade here
Yes.
now, right? This is when we're looking to take a trade now. Well, look at the time here. The time is 4 a.m., right? And the purge of the CRT must happen between 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., right? This purge happened right on 3 a.m. You can
Exactly.
see 3 a.m.
Oh
candle purge
yeah.
out the CRT. So we're looking to trade until 5 a.m. because the CRT got respected, right? We had the right time to purge, but we
Exactly.
didn't have the entry yet. So we're still
Yes.
looking to take a trade until the market gets the confirmation. So now we're gonna look for a model one, right?
Okay.
You know what model one is, right?
The model one is the order
Yep,
block
auto
one.
block. Yep. So you can see this is our
Yeah.
model one. Looking for this candle to get confirmed here, right? So now let's play the next
Okay.
candle. This candle does not confirm. You can see how the next candle doesn't confirm. It doesn't close above it.
Yeah, it
So we're
doesn't.
now
It
waiting
doesn't.
for the next candle
Yeah.
to confirm it here, right? Next candle
Okay.
confirmed it, but now once we have the confirmation, all we're doing is setting a trade here. So go. You don't have to set a limit order because limit order usually will mess you up, right? Because this broker is different than your fucking profit broker, right? So you're gonna have different type of entries,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Which that will mess up with your
Exactly.
trades. So just go based on the trading view. Because trading view, you must always trust trading view more than your profit. Because profit are built to fuck you up, right?
Okay. Oh yeah.
So
Exactly.
So you see right over here. So your first take profit will be just here. This will be your first and final take profit, right? Going for a 3 RR right over here, right? So
Okay.
you're
Yes.
waiting. So once the market taps this, you enter the trade. You put your stop loss right below here. You're not gonna put your stop loss down here or here or here. You're gonna put it right below the order block. Why? Because this order block is a total soup. So
Oh yeah.
for a order block entry, your entry right over here, you can see is your OTE. Your stop loss is the total soup. You know what OTE is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know.
OT could market could possibly retrace to market could possibly
Oh yeah.
retrace to it a couple of times, right? So you do not want to break even. So your
Exactly.
stop loss, if your entry is the OTE, your stop loss is the total soup. You can see it's a stop loss is the total soup, right?
Oh yeah.
Right if
Yeah.
you just
I
is your
I get
stop loss
it.
is total soup, entry is the OTE. So once the market taps this, you're looking to
Okay.
execute a trade. Eventually entry here, take profit here, and stop loss right over here, right? So now the next candle, it doesn't do
Okay.
nothing, right? It just closes up. But guess what? You're still looking to take the trade. Although the 4 a.m. candle, you can see the 4 a.m. candle ended, right? But it's still looking to take a trade.
Yeah.
Why? Because you can see the low right over here. Got the CRT got respected. You can see how it got a closure above with a model one
Oh
confirmation,
yeah.
right? So he's still looking to take this trade
Exactly.
regardless of it, not giving a setup during that specific duration, right? So now when the
Okay.
market taps it, now you're in this trade here, right? And this trade, what do you think you would have entered
Yeah.
the trade out of? Where would you enter the trade out of the model one, the rejection block, or what?
Um. I think it's model number one.
Yes, but there's varies of model one. Romeo talks about it, but he doesn't have to give out a hint, right? But
Yeah.
there's scenarios of model one. Will
Um.
you enter out of this
Okay.
end part of the model one? Will you enter out of the threshold or the actual model one over here?
Uh.
And this
This
is
is
rejection
like
block, by the way.
the what?
This is rejection block. So would you enter out of the rejection block, the
Okay.
50% mark of the threshold of the auto block, or the auto block itself?
I think the 50%.
No, no, but you think deeply. If the only time you see, the only time you take the only time you take the 50% mark, if there's a big candle, is this big candle big and thick candle? No, right?
No, no, no,
So
no.
what's the
Yeah.
next option you can take? There's only two other options you can take.
The rejection block.
Yep. Why the rejection block?
Um. Because this the candle body is like um the
See how
short
the
body
yeah
is
yeah you're right.
like a
See
doge.
see how the wick is overtaking the body, and you
Yeah.
see how
Yeah.
the market
Exactly.
tapped
Yeah.
it and had a sensitive position right straight out of it, right? So instead of us entering out of here, we're gonna be smarter and enter out the threshold, right? This is a new way of entering. This is even me. I'm learning this about it right now, right? My racing trade right over here. You can
Oh.
see that this
Okay.
is right here is my trade, right? That I
Oh.
actually took.
Okay.
So the
Yeah.
reason I
Yeah.
didn't take
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
trade because I don't trade London session, right? But New York session, I still got the trade. It's
Oh.
the same trade, right? I used the alley CRT to get the trade, right? You can see you could there's there's gonna be chances you're gonna enter the trade, right? But let's get straight into
Oh.
the example, right? I'm snapping so fucking much. Hold up. Ready? So you're
Yeah.
entering the
Yeah.
rejection block because of the fucking wick is overtaking the body, right? You can see the wick is overtaking the body here.
Oh. Yeah. But
So
yeah.
you
Yeah.
can enter out of the rejection block. But the only time you can ever enter out of the rejection block is when the auto block is confirmed. Was the auto block confirmed?
Okay.
Right? It was confirmed, right? So you can enter
Yes.
out the rejection block.
Yes.
You
Confirmed.
never enter out of the rejection block without the auto block being confirmed and without having the right auto block. There's scenarios of auto block as well, by the way. So I'm gonna take the highest probably the auto
Okay.
block, which either has a consecutive candle closure or a full candle closure, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay. I get it.
in
Yeah.
this case, you're going to take the Right now, it's the model one's confirmed, so you can take it out of the rejection block, right? You can see you got the rejection block entry here,
Injection. Yeah,
and
exactly.
you take profit here, stop loss here. So instead of us going here making
Okay.
less, now we're going over here making more. We're making a 4.5 RR instead of
Oh.
making a 3 RR, right?
Mhm.
So entry
Yeah,
there,
exactly.
stop loss here, and take profit
Okay.
one. But the only way you can enter out this is first of all scenario. Second of all, the model one must be confirmed. The model one confirmed, and have
Yes.
the perfect scenario for this entry, right? So enter the trade,
Yes.
see how the and market instantly reflect out of your entry, put up higher.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yeah.
market can
Yeah.
see he eventually fucked around a little bit, and
Oh
eventually did hit
yeah.
take profit here, right? You can see if you go up higher, boom. You can see how you see why
Oh.
the price moved around away from here because of CRT first
Mm,
of all, right? Second of all is
CRT was, yeah, but
our take profit should have been all over here. You can see how take profit should have been all over here because the higher time frame.
yeah. Yeah.
But you're not gonna go there because logical reasoning, right? Because nothing is random here, right? Because this day was Wednesday, right? The next day was The next day was CPI, right? So CPI was going
CPI.
to be the one to
Mm,
perform, right? Perform the market move, right? So this
yeah.
is Wednesday, so Wednesday is going to be used as a way to for it to go for a realistic profit. So you don't want to go for a such a far take profit. You just want to use Thursday as a way to
Oh.
make a little bit make your profit get out. But Thursday is gonna be the one to perform
Okay.
because Thursday is CPI, right? So you go over here,
Yeah.
make your money, you're out, right? See how you made a 4.5 RR here, and
Yeah.
my trade was all over
Yeah.
here for a 3.1 RR, right? Even my trade, I should have taken out the rejection block here, right? You can see I took out the 50%, but guess what? You learn, right? But you can see right over here, my entry should have been the rejection
Yeah.
block as well, right? You can see my entry right over here, my entry happened
Yeah.
over
I see
there,
that.
but it's supposed to be at the rejection block, right?
Oh. Oh. I see that.
See how
I
the
see
rejection
that.
block is
Okay.
overtaking the body, but the only time we can take the
Yeah.
rejection block if the model one is confirmed, right? In this case, the model one was confirmed, and we
Confirm.
can take out the rejection block because the rejection block is overtaking I'm saying, the body of these candles, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, that's that as well. So now, do you learn? Did you get anything out of this?
Yeah. Exactly. 100%. One question. So we are looking at entries on the 5 and 15, right?
Yeah. So if you have a 4 hour CRT, a 15-minute model one. If you have an hourly CRT, you're gonna look for a 5 minute. When I entered my trade, I entered at the 5 minute, right? Because I had an hourly CRT, right? When you enter your trade,
Oh.
it was out of the 15 minute because you have a 4 hour CRT, right?
Okay. Okay. And can you show me your 1 hour CRT execution?
Yep, you can
The
see this is the one
one you
hourly
took.
CRT.
Yeah.
So for me, since I don't trade London session, right? I trade New York. So
Okay.
now I use London session
Okay.
as even more confluence here. So London session, what do I have here? Okay, let me see what I have London session, right? So let's just act like I trade.
Yeah.
Let's just act like I'm gonna take this trade here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So now for me, I only take trades for a near continuation. I only take trades between 7 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. Right? So 7 a.m. We went to 7 a.m. right
Okay.
over here, and we're looking to execute a trade here, right? So
Yeah.
now I have way more data because the London session just played out, right? So since the London session just
Exactly.
played out, we're going to use the London session as a confluence for me to what do you call it, to give you more confidence to the trade or to give you more narrative, right? So
Yeah,
now
exactly.
we're gonna go since
Okay.
we have the same high time and drawn liquidity here. We're gonna use the 4 hour as a more context here. And the 4 hour time frame we have here, a 4 hour, you know, now we have a confirmation of 4 hour IRL, which is the IRL to ERL, as
Yeah.
well as that we have a confirmation
Exactly.
of 4 hour key level. Now we have additional
Hello.
confluence here, right? If we go to the 15-minute time frame or 5 minute, right? We have a
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
OTE here. You know what OTE is?
Yeah. I do know optimal trade entry.
Yep. So, oh no, no, that's not that.
Yeah.
It's a deep retracement takes care of traders within the right side of the market, right? So for OTE,
Okay.
market made a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. So now we have an OTE confirmation, right? Because for a near continuation,
Oh.
there's
Okay.
always going to be an OTE. If there's, I mean, there's not always going to be OTE there, but high chance of an OTE. If the 4 hour,
Okay.
if the previous session, London session, choose out the session high or low, that's definitely going to be an OTE there, right? Because for a New York session,
Okay. Yeah.
what New York does is it continues, right? Because they call it New continuation, right? See how the market continues to the
Oh.
upside,
Yeah.
right?
Continues upside.
Since
Yeah.
it's gonna continue, you need to do a little retracement, which is the OTE, right? So now what do we have?
Okay.
How is our OTE? Because this is our CRT over here as well. So
Okay.
low, high, lower low, higher high. We close above it. Now we're
Mhm.
gonna take it from here to here. Now this is our
Okay.
OTE, right? So 50% mark, all down here is our OT here, right? So we can only execute OTE
Okay.
once the 0.50% mark gets tapped. You can see now we have way more confidence, right? We let the lesson play out.
Yeah.
So now we have a hourly CRT as well. It says for a near continuation, you can only trade, for a near continuation, you can only trade between 7 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. If you let the same candle play out. Same candle play out, made a
Mm,
bearish candle. Now all we're doing is using that
exactly.
6 a.m. candle as a CRT, right? Or whatever candle is a big candle in the
Yeah.
hourly time frame. In this case, this candle is our biggest candle, right? So we
Biggest.
mark out
Yeah.
the low, the high, and eventually our drone look is right over here as well, right? So
Oh, yeah.
now
Okay.
we're gonna wait until the saying the low gets purged here, right?
Low. Yeah. The low at first.
The low got purged. Well, we can see how the low got purged
Yeah.
instantly went up
Oh,
higher.
perfect.
So our Monroe one
Oh.
is right over here. It's our
Mm.
order block right over here.
Yeah. Exactly.
And our stop loss is going to be here. So since this one over here, if I enter the trade out of here, look how much I'm making the same take profit here, right? First same take profit, I'm making
Yeah.
a 1.8 RR. Do I want that?
Uh, uh, no, you would
Oh,
want
why?
to
Why not? Because as you know, RR is king in trading, right? RR is always going to be king, right?
exactly,
Because if you don't
exactly,
have the right
exactly.
RR, you're not going to be profitable, right? So he offers 1.8 RR.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that. But me personally, I took it out the threshold. But even the threshold was not a good entry. You know why? Because the resistance block was the actual entry. Because the resistance block right over here was overtaking the fucking
Okay.
body here, right? So
Yeah, the
that
body here. Yeah.
I'll be right back. I gotta go open the door for my sibling here. Right back. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Sure. 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 Sure.
1 second.
No worries.
All right, I'm back. I have to be somewhere right now, but
Yeah.
let me
No
do another
worries. No
quick
worries.
example. But you can see how we enter the resistance block right over here, right? Entry there, stop loss here, take profit one over
Exactly.
here, right? First take profit is gonna be the hour
Yep.
CRT. The second take profit is gonna be the
Yeah.
4 hour CRT, right? The same drone liquidity we have here,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
See
Yeah. Right.
that played out.
Mhm.
It took a lot of time because the fucking G was acting
Yeah.
up, right? So to hit take profit just like that.
Exactly. Oh, perfect. Perfect.
But yeah,
Yeah.
this is
Right.
it because I gotta I just gotta go somewhere, right? So
No worries. No worries. Thank you so much for your time,
is
and
this good
I
enough
actually
for
learned a
you?
lot. Yeah, yeah, that's good enough. And I'll actually watch the boot camp you were talking about.
Oh yeah, the bootcamp. I'll share the link right now for you. But
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
just
will be right
yeah,
back. Okay. I mean not right back. I'll see you later. All right.
yeah,
Have a good
yeah,
day.
yeah. Thank you so
I
much for
gotta
your
be right.
time. Thank you
I
so
gotta go
much for your
somewhere. I'll be
time.
right back. All right, peace out, chat.
Yeah, okay, sure, sure.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
Peace.
take care, take care,
Yep.
take care.
Take care. All right, chat. I'll be right back. Hold on. But as a recording, quick recording session with a Discord member. If you want to take you want to session, you could take as well. But it will be recorded for our educational purposes. I gotta go, be somewhere real quick. I'll be right back. I have to come back in a couple minutes, so I'll be right back, chat. I'll be right back.